Warning, this podcast contains dandy. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for American Horror Story Hotel, season something or other, episode 2, Chutes and Ladders. It doesn't matter because it's
It really doesn't.
So yeah, season whatever, nobody cares. I'm your host Dom. With me, my co-host Nikki.
Hi.
Hi. My co-host Mike.
Hi.
And my co-host Rachel.
Hello.
How's it going?
Goes.
It's going.
It goes.
We got a lot of returning actors for this episode. Stuff we missed out on in episode. I thought this was a much better episode than the first episode.
Yeah.
By far.
I have to agree. Yeah, it was much more interesting. I mean, the first episode set the tone, but this was a far better episode.
Yep.
This episode reaffirms I hate jump scares.
This episode reaffirms my initial thought that they really went all out on the gore this season.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's vampires.
I know, but they are not holding anything back.
They came up with every excuse under the sun to get Lady Gaga naked.
And they did. And Dom, to mention something you talked about last episode, they showed her ass.
They did this time. So, yeah. No
And
more
multiple
special
scenes.
treatment. Yeah. What was up with the very beginning of this episode, though? Like, there's sick child, non-vaccinated, you know, it's got the measles. Like, that was just completely
what his
random
wife
and out
was,
in left field.
His wife was complaining about that last episode that there's a possible case of whooping cough, and she's bitching about parents not vaccinating. That's what she went to go see.
Gotcha.
I wanted to punch the non-vaccinated mom. Like, seriously? She's like, oh, it's just the measles. I thought it was something worse. Are you fucking kidding me, lady?
Now,
Yeah.
normally, there's one show creator in there, writer, director, producer, somebody who's really pushing an agenda. Normally, I hate that, but this is an agenda that needs to be pushed.
I mean, I love the whole thing, like, oh, you know, where's the cure? And
I know.
it's like, they're telling you right off the bat, like, if you're not getting your children vaccinated, you're wrong. And, I mean, I don't want to start a whole, like, debate about it, because there shouldn't be a debate in the first place. It's just idiotic.
No, she had a really good point, and she made it very clear that there's other things to be worried about other than not vaccinating your children.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's one thing you can protect your kids against, whereas when they're out in the world, they can get stolen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, like, I mean, seriously, measles and, you know, polio and all that stuff was pretty much eradicated. And then all of a sudden, and they're just spiking up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, really? Are you serious? Do you guys not see a correlation? It's my child. Yeah, but your child is around my child. And it's around babies that can't get vaccinated. And if those babies get the measles, chances of them dying is pretty high.
There's a whole, you can read up on the research about it. There's a whole thing called herd immunity for the 1% of people who can't get vaccines because their immune system sucks, other conditions, whatever, where a vaccine will actually give them a full case of the live virus. They depend on everybody else being vaccinated so that they won't be a carrier or a transmission source.
Yeah.
What I did notice was when Lady Gaga was explaining her ailment that she had passed on to Dandy, she called it a virus.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't call it a curse or a spell or a disease. She called it a virus.
And they're only immortal if they take care of themselves.
Yep.
And not reckless.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like a true, like, vampirism. It's
Well,
it's kind of like
their version of a true vampirism.
Yeah.
It's
kind
different
of
in
like,
every...
what it reminded me of was that movie with Goldie Hawn and I can't remember. Anyways, they went and they became immortal because they were both actresses and they wanted this to be perfect. And the lady told them, you have to be careful. Well, what happened was that they ended up one shooting the other one with the shotgun in the stomach, and she had this hole, but she was still alive. So she had to patch up the hole. So it's like that they're still alive, but not taking care of themselves. You know what I mean? I can't remember the name of the movie.
It has to do with witches.
I think, kind of, sort of.
I think Jack
Yeah.
Nicholson.
No,
I
no,
mean,
it wasn't Witches of Eastwick. No.
They went in the direction where they're like, okay, they're not really vampires. They don't get the teeth. You know, they have the immortality. So it is a virus. It's some kind of disease, whatever. But you know, it kind of like freezes their molecular structure and from cellular
Degeneration.
degeneration.
It's super immune system.
Yeah. So, she's like, you have immortality as long as you're not dumb. So you can die to a bullet,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
stake, a shovel, you know, doesn't matter. You know. So I feel like the kid that's got the measles is going to take a turn for the worse, and then they're going to end up turning this kid into a vampire, and that's going to be the only way to save this kid.
I don't know if they'll go that far.
I don't think this kid.
What else are they setting up this kid for?
I think they were just
Just-
setting it up for the whole virus thing, for Lady Gaga.
Like-
the whole-
And I also to possibly
Kid's name
give
was
us a little,
Max, by the way.
to give us a little bit more development on the doctor, on the detective's wife. I don't think.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Nah, I don't know if. I don't think they're gonna take the kid's case any further than that.
No, I don't think so.
Right. No, that kid, I agree, is like a one-off, setup character development. But I also think it's going to foreshadow the detective is eventually going to figure out vampires somehow, whether figure out that they're diseased, have a virus, and he's going to enlist his wife to help, combat it.
Well, try cure his son.
Mhm. Try to cure his son. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Because I mean, not only him is running around now seeing his son Holden in the hotel, but now his daughter Scarlet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was only because what's his name? What's it?
Lachlan, that little piece
Showed-
of shit.
Showed her.
I wanted to smack him upside the
Well,
head.
I was
so
kind of
much.
wondering. I was kind of wondering if she would remember, because remember she said last episode she was starting to forget what he looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, is she probably will remember him, but kids that age, you never know. Yeah,
He
he has.
hasn't changed, so he still looks the same as when she last saw him. And then she was looking through old pictures and being like, okay, confirmation that was my brother.
Right, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It was creepy. It's like, ugh. And then
Yeah.
Sally freaking her out. I would. Oh.
Fucking Sally.
So now we know Sally's one sewing him in beds, but
We also know Sally is something not vampiric.
She might be. I mean, she's wearing fake teeth.
Unless this virus is far more complicated than simple vampirism.
because she died, so I don't know how she came back to life unless that place is like a waiting station for souls.
Well, I mean, me and Mike were discussing. She looks like she feeds on emotions, not
Yeah.
blood. So, what'd you say? An incubi?
Oh, because everybody in Room 64 has crazy bad dreams before something bad happens to them. And then, Sally seemed to show up in the first episode when Drildo showed up. That's what I'm calling him, by the way. Because they have like flashes of bad dreams or visions or whatever, I thought maybe she was an incubus, which is like a succubus but feeds off of dreams and nightmares instead of sexual energy.
I
don't know.
don't
I
think
don't-
that's what an incubus is.
It's something like
I
that.
thought an incubus was a male version
Male
of a succubus.
succubus.
Wow, maybe I was. No, I don't want Incubus the band.
Right. Yes. That's
No,
where they got
but-
their name.
Yeah, I think she feeds
Oh,
up. But
yeah.
But when you noticed when she was talking to the detective, she was like leaning in and just
My
like
bad. Yeah,
And-
Incubus
and
is a male succubus. I'm sorry. thinking of the
everything
movie.
just taking in everything, all his emotions, and she was just like sucking it in. You could just she's like because she's lost. She's lost the caring, the loving. She's trying to get that back. I think that's
I don't think it's.
that's
Just,
what it looks like.
I think it's just extreme emotions in general, like fear, and excitement, love, sorrow.
But she seems to the love thing, the love and someone caring about seems to
Well, that's one of the
More.
most.
I mean,
for her.
she started freaking out when she couldn't get in to see the fashion show.
Mhm.
I fucking live here.
Yeah, well, she does. She has a
Yeah.
point.
It's a little crazy though.
Well, if you were locked out of your house because some rich fuck was throwing a party, you'd be pissed off too, wouldn't you?
But the rich fuck owns the hotel.
Well, you know what? He's an asshole.
That would be like you guys like in your apartment that you were living in, have your like landlord throwing a party, not necessarily for everyone in the apartment complex, and just not inviting you.
I wouldn't have cared, but hey,
That's my
if he
point.
didn't,
Is you
but if he
shouldn't
didn't,
you shouldn't
I
care.
would have called the cops if he didn't let me into my apartment. I would have lost.
Right, but nobody was
shit.
stopping her from going into her own room.
Mhm.
She just wasn't allowed to go to the private event.
I was in the lobby, which you have to walk through to get to your room.
Right, they weren't letting her into the lobby at all
Mhm.
to like get to the elevator or the stairs even.
I didn't see it as her wanting to go into her room. She was
I know,
she's in
but,
front of
like,
the guest list trying to get
even-
into the party.
Even if she would have said, "Fine, let me into my room," they would have been like, "No, get the hell out."
They didn't throw her out the front door. She went upstairs after that.
She went on the side stairs.
That's when her teeth came out. She went upstairs after that. So she was just
No, that
flipping
was
out because
the
she couldn't get
second-
into the party.
No, her teeth didn't come out.
That
until
was way later in the
second
episode.
yeah, that was
Right.
the second visit of
But that
the girl.
was when the show was done, because the little girl came back and they were cleaning up.
I
Scarlet
don't know.
came back
She
and they
was
were
already
cleaning up.
upstairs at that point. So I don't think they were not letting her go to her room. She was specifically trying to get into the party. So I don't know. But that party was a little weird.
Oh, we now know the other Swedish lady was dead.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about her anyways.
No. Well, also that scene kind of made me think that she's kind of filtering some of the blood through the children because they're taking the blood out of the
Through-
children.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly what me and Mike were thinking, that she's using the children to filter the blood so that, you know, the Countess and whoever, not Donovan anymore, get better
The
tasting
pure.
blood. Pureness, yes.
No
She
matter
tastes bad.
Because she's
almost
dead.
every vampire mythos has said the same thing, that children taste better.
Ugh.
So to filter the blood through the children makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of liked how Iris was so sweet to them, though. It's because she's dead, honey.
Yeah.
Stop feeding now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's a
Aw.
mother, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what about that party?
I expect behind
The
the scenes for
fashion
almost
show.
every fashion show to be like that, to be honest.
Lots of drugs.
What about Dandy, aka Tristan?
Tristan.
He's still dandy to me.
That little fuck plays. He's very good at playing a twisted asshole of a character.
He is very
Very
good at that.
true.
Yeah. I like the Rufio hairdo that he had going on.
I don't.
No?
I think it was stupid.
Why?
Because exactly what you said, Rufio. Rufio's the only one should have that fucking hairdo.
Bangarang, Tristan.
Oh, God. He was banging something.
He was. He's just like, just because I'm blowing this dude does not make me gay.
I know.
Or I'm
No, just
sucking
because
the
I'm
dude.
sucking the dude.
Yeah.
That was just like, seriously, you're worried about that at this point in time?
It really
Yeah.
won't matter from now
Doesn't
on. If you
matter.
keep care of yourself, you can experiment all you want.
I like that they gave a little bit of backstory about her, like when she was, when she was born and stuff like that, and
Was she-
her
when
maker
she
is
was
longer.
Born, or
No,
when she
when
was
She
turned
was
born?
turned.
No.
In 1903, she was turned. Oh, no. She said she was born in
Born in
1903.
1903.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but a lot of vampires.
Oh, 1904.
A lot
Yeah,
of vampires, say they're born as in I was turned then.
Nah, I think that's when she was birthed, came out of the uterus.
Then, I mean, how old could she have been when she was turned? Really? 30 at the most?
At the most.
How old is Lady Gaga?
30 something?
Is she? I'm gonna look.
She's in her
this
mid
Yeah.
30s, I think.
Yeah, 34, something like that.
Well, and now that we know that whoever turned her is no longer around, so
29.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You know.
Hold on, don't move. No, I was gonna say, Nikki, she's a little older than you.
Okay.
So that's when she was turned. 29 years later.
All right, so say she was 29. That means she was born in, if that's the case, 1875. Not 1975.
I think she was born and then she was turned in the
Yeah, so that's the
Art
case,
Deco.
1875. But if not, she may have legit been born in 1904.
And they gave off the whole illusion that she was some crazy fucking old vampire.
They did, yeah.
I'm going to say, though,
Which-
that she was born in 1904. Like, actually born.
Mm-hmm.
Because they revealed with James Patrick March that he built the hotel in 1925. So
Yes.
that would put her just under, 21 at the time the hotel was built. Give her a little time to get, old enough. So.
And is anybody fooled at all by the whole not showing his wife?
No. Her
I mean,
hair
it's-
gave it away.
Do you know?
I
Do you
know.
know who his wife is? What do you mean fooled by it?
Like, I mean, they don't show her face. They just show, like, her hair or the back of her head. I mean, does anybody think it's anybody other than Lady Gaga?
Yes, I know who for a fact. I know who his wife is.
Who is his
So
wife, then?
if you want me to spoil it, I will.
Is it your future ex-girlfriend?
It is. It's Emma Roberts, the actress, because she's currently on Scream Queens. They've already announced that she will be returning for the last couple episodes of American Horror Story, playing his wife. But since she's not scheduled for acting, that's how they got away with having her but not showing it. So yeah, it is not Lady Gaga.
Well,
Okay.
then.
So
Well played, showrunners.
Well, they
played.
made it seem really made her seem really familiar as far as like, similarities to the Countess, because like, oh, she liked the torture and she had the blonde hair.
mm-hmm. Yep.
So I mean, I was thinking she caught the disease from being in that evil place, being his wife,
Right.
possibly, or the virus, but I guess that's not the. But then again, we know she's been all over the United States at least. She
Yeah.
was in New York at one time.
Yeah.
So
She's
James Patrick March, we got an introduction into his character. He's an oil man, built the hotel in 1925, and started this whole Ten Commandments killings.
Yeah, he's going the whole, killer
I
from
knew it.
7. He's pulling the spacey.
Yeah.
And I do have to, after watching the episode more, like when they first showed him, I was like, oh, cool, there he is. Like, there's Evan Peters. And then Nikki pointed out something good. He looks way too young to be playing a suave, dapper gentleman such as that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
it just doesn't fit. He's too baby-faced for that role.
He really is.
Yeah, I mean, that's why he got away with playing a young kid in the first season, and now
He
5
was
years
still
later.
young, even in Freak Show.
He was. I mean, he's 28 right now, so
You're going to...
he's just slightly younger than Lady Gaga.
Good-looking 28.
I don't think he wasn't very old when he built the hotel and stuff. So they're what? How old would they say it was? Like, he was in his mid-20s.
He was in his mid-20s, but I mean, he doesn't. The
Yeah, I
person
know.
himself, the actor, does not look like he's in his mid-20s. He looks young.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was kind of distracting for me as well. I definitely noticed that, but I don't know. It was really cool to see him and like the portrayal and the history behind everything and the double murder suicide. At the end, like how he killed his maid, and
Oh, I love her so much.
she was
She
amazing.
So
seems-
awesome.
She seems to like get off on
Cleaning. I said the same thing.
the way she said, "Oh, I gotta get these." It's like
Such
it's
an
like a sexual.
exquisite... The way she said, like, such an exquisite stain.
Yeah, exactly. It's like she gets off some kind of. I'm like, okay.
I was like, okay, so that is obviously her fetish.
That's probably why they let her handle it all, and they don't. They don't go near that.
I just love the fact that the cops are knocking on their door, and he's like, "Which one?" She's, the gun. They're just so like, like it's
like,
a normal.
would you do the
every other
honor?
day,
Would you
there
do
was
the
a
honor?
moment. There was a moment there where she was either like he was like holding a gun, and there was a pause. She was gonna say something, or it was like, oh, he's not gonna shoot me, kind of thing. It was kind of like a relief kind of emotion on her face, and then bam, And I was like, she was gonna say something. I want to know what it was gonna be, but
Right.
and then
And now we have we found out the significance of Room 64,
mhm.
and that was the fact that it was his office.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
JPM, like, didn't he find the handkerchief last episode?
No, that was wait. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when they were doing the flashback and when they found out that it was him doing the murders that they
Right.
found his handkerchief on the bodies by all the Bibles. I thought
Right.
that's what you were referring to.
No.
But no, last episode he did find one of his
Yep.
napkins.
So that was the significance of that handkerchief that we kind of glazed over. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm really. I feel like I'm in a better place for enjoying this episode, or this series rather, this season. Because going into it, and I mean, there's still a lot of stuff with the vampires, and I don't really care for that storyline right now. That's probably my least favorite of everything that's going on this season. The thing that really has my interest is the Ten Commandments killer.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I loved the whole, 7 deadly sins killings, but the 10 Commandments killer, just why hasn't nobody ever done this yet?
This is what the movie Seven was. Their sequel was going to be. But something happened with the script and all that. It was supposed to be based off the Ten Commandments. So this is indirectly, the fan continuation, I want to say. I feel like it was very heavily influenced by that movie.
Possibly. And I mean, Mike mentioned a certain writer that kind of surprised me, and then I kind of logically thought, oh, that makes sense now.
Yeah, one of the writers for this season, I'm not sure if it was previous seasons, I never noticed the name, was Tim Minear, who he wrote Firefly and a bunch of other stuff for Joss Whedon.
That's interesting. So.
And I just I go back to Firefly, and the part that creeped me the heck out in that series was the Reapers, and they
Reavers.
weren't the Reavers. They were not pretty guys. They were just phew,
You know what? And to be
Creepy.
perfectly honest, the Reavers in that series were pretty much everything that Drildo is right now.
pretty much.
I love that's his name.
Pretty much everything that Drildo and the vampires are in this series. Like, their whole thing was, eat people, rape them while they're still alive, while eating them, and other horrible things.
Yeah. I mean, we had introduction to one other new character, Claudia Banks.
The fashionista.
Yeah.
Right.
She was played by the voodoo witch from 2 seasons ago.
The Voodoo Witch and the Miss Triple Nipple from last season.
Yes. I forgot she was Miss Triple Nipple.
No,
That was Naomi Campbell.
no.
That
Yeah,
was someone entirely different, I think.
somebody different.
Was it?
Yeah, she's coming later in the season.
I could have sworn that was
I-
her. I mean, her face looked exactly the same.
No,
That looked like Naomi Campbell to me.
You know what? I didn't even
I think her name was in the credits too, in the beginning of
Wow.
the show. I
She
think that was
looked
Naomi Campbell.
eerily similar to me.
no.
I didn't even give it a second thought.
I'm looking up this episode to see who it was, and there's a picture of who Dom's talking about coming in the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angela Bassett.
Yeah, and
Yeah, no, that wasn't Angela.
Wow. Huh.
No,
That
she's
completely
gonna
threw
have.
me for a loop.
She doesn't have the curls. She's gonna have like a fro,
Fro.
and I love that. I love it so
Yeah. Yeah, Naomi Campbell. Wow.
I think she's
Told
actually
you.
like
I mean, because I was kind of getting some. I
Wow.
guess I realized the voice was different when I started getting what's that the actress that plays the girl in Archer,
Aisha Tyler.
Aisha Tyler.
Yeah.
I started the voice sounded similar to me at some points, and I was like that's where I got thrown off. I was like, this accent's kind of making her sound like Aisha Tyler.
Well, Naomi Campbell's from London,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm sure she has an accent, and
Yeah.
she probably doesn't hide it very well.
Yeah, I mean, she was trying to do a normal American voice, and that's what made it, I think, sound like Aisha Tyler to me. But it's crazy. Wow. That was news to me. I didn't even know Naomi Campbell was going to be in this this series.
I don't think for long.
Yeah.
No, probably not.
Yeah, she's
Probably only
listed
an
as a
episode or
special
two.
guest star, not a reoccurring character. So
It might just be a one-off thing.
yeah. But I really want to know like what is keeping all of them tied into the hotel, like why they're dying and coming back, and you know.
Well, we know that they can leave because I saw a preview and Donovan was out hunting and he
Well,
wasn't
that's
at the hotel.
Donovan. That's
Yeah.
Donovan. That's
But he was turned at the hotel and like
But the other, I'm thinking that ones that get turned can leave. The ones that are vampires, but the ones that aren't,
the
like
vampires, I think, can leave.
Sally, I don't know if she can really leave. We've never seen her leave.
She can't. Well, she came in
But she's
from
dead.
outside.
Well, they didn't show her coming in from outside. She was just at the door. Yeah, you just assume that but she was just there.
Right.
But she's dead, so how could she exist? How could anyone else see her?
Well, I know that like the maid and we've seen
the maid's dead now.
The maid is definitely dead.
She's dead. She's a ghost.
Or a something.
Mm-hmm. It's like I said, I think that it's a waiting station. It's a waiting station for something. You have to find what you're looking for in order to move on or something, or make yourself move on, or you know.
That is kind of like Murder House, where
Right.
Murder House was kind of like that door, that waiting room to go to the other side or to come out from the other side. I think, the hotel is just a way bigger version of that, and it's all because of all the evil doings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's
all the
bodies and
doors.
hidden doors and chutes and
Railroads.
ladders and.
Thank you. There was a major point I was thinking of. What happens to all the bodies at the bottom of the chute? Is there like someone who goes through there and regularly cleans it out? Is there a monster that eats them?
What was it that she dumped on her? The powder.
Lie.
I don't know. If it was lye, then all those bodies should have been decomposing already.
True. I don't know.
There was only 3 bodies in there.
There was more than 3 bodies.
When they started going down the chute, you just saw a pile.
Well, that was in the flashback. There was a pile.
With the Swedish girls, though, they had her sister. There was the guy that came out from the bed, and then
there was more piled underneath it.
I only saw 3.
I only saw a couple on a bare floor.
There was guts places, but I only saw like 3.
I don't know. That's a good question. And now that they're dead, are we going to start seeing them come back and walk through the hotel?
I think it depends on how they died.
Well, we know that Sally's keeping her little drug addict boyfriend in the mattress.
She puts his people in the mattresses.
Mm-hmm.
She's a weed.
It's so when people are sleeping, they can come out and give them hugs.
Oh my god.
She is all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah, I don't understand her. Like, I was sitting there, I'm like, I don't like this character that Sarah's playing at all. She's the worst. Yeah. I am not happy with the way her character's going, but
I liked her conversation at the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the detective, that was really good. I mean, we got backstory out of it, which I was really happy with.
Detective Lowe.
Mm-hmm.
Detective Lowe.
And then they got the bomb threat at the police station.
Yeah.
Which was like a bloody, what was it?
Academy Award.
Academy Award, Golden Globe, Oscar thing. I don't know.
It was Oscar.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was odd because, well, they're like, it's the murder weapon, and then they showed the picture, and you obviously knew where the murder happened on the body.
Well, they got hit in the head too, but yeah, things went up certain orifices.
Yeah, so that was a nice little scare. I liked it. I didn't expect it to be a bomb. I expected it to be like a severed.
I thought it was going to be a severed.
Yeah, like a finger or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys have anything else?
I'm liking this season more and more, and I thought I was gonna hate it.
I mean, the only other thing I could say is the girl.
Scarlet,
when she came back home, and like the police and everything, they were all like flipping out, like, "Where are you? Where'd you go?" And so there's definitely some major conflict between John and his wife.
Oh yeah.
Well, and also when she said that she saw him saw Holden at the hotel, he's just like, oh oh my God, he's dead. He's dead. And it's like, oh my God, I'm seeing him and she's seeing him. What's going on in this hotel? That's
and
why
then,
he asked Iris.
his wife did come out and say, like, you're making me do this again. Like, he's like, so you do blame me for Holden. She's like, no, I'm just tired. Leave me alone. Get out of my house.
She clearly blames him. And
Yeah, she clearly.
then the
blames him.
blurry picture didn't really, help Scarlet's case either, but it didn't
No.
exactly hurt it either.
No, because he seriously questioned it because he could see how it was, similar to Holden, and he knew she was with someone at that point. So.
And Holden is very insistent that he's home. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
He likes it there. He gets to play video games and he gets to eat candy.
Yeah, and people.
So I mean,
There's candy and then there's people candy. Same thing.
When are they gonna maybe try to turn these other two kids? I hope they don't, but
I'm seeing Lachlan getting aced and Scarlet being saved.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're really gonna introduce more kids like that. That's why I think Max is done for.
No, I think Max is going to get turned.
You think he's gonna eat some high dad soup and get better?
High dad soup.
High dad soup.
I just think that kid's just a one-off.
I don't know.
Eh.
I don't know. It's just getting the backstory. I like the backstory better more than
Well,
like.
I mean, then we have more chances to connect all the other seasons together, and that's exciting for people who watch faithfully every season. Because since Freak Show, since the connections became apparent and they started really getting into that, people have been just going nuts trying to make connections everywhere. So
Yeah. Then they're going back to the other episodes to see if there's anything in them that is connecting.
yeah. Well, I mean, they weren't purposely connecting back then, but now that they are, you can see that they're making changes and purposely connecting now.
Yeah. But in a group I'm in, there's oh my gosh, there's connections. I just finished Freak Show and I'm like, yeah. They're like, I'm going back and watching the other ones. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
So.
Anyway, next week the episode is called Mommy.
Mommy?
Alex is pushed to her breaking point after Scarlet stirs up memories of Holden. Donovan is targeted by a dangerous rival of the Countess. And it is written by James Wong from
Saw.
Mm-hmm.
Even I know that now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That episode is going to be fantastically bloody.
This is where Angela comes in. She is the rival of the Countess.
Yup.
And I mean, we have the incident too with the Countess. Don't forget her boyfriend is
Yeah, Donovan
toast
is.
now. Yeah.
He's on his own. He's out on the streets.
We don't know where he's going to go.
No, but I mean, why would he want to stay? And she kind of just said it's done at that point. She got bored. He's like, I don't want to do this, and she's like, well, you could see it on her face, like.
She's fine and dandy.
Now she's fine and dandy. So she thinks. I don't think that's gonna last very long. I think he's gonna fuck something up for her.
Oh yeah.
Only
He's good at
because she
fucking
has
things up.
Tristan that she's now fine and dandy.
Well, what's going to happen if Donovan leaves? Will Iris leave?
Will she?
Because that's the only reason why she's there.
Unless
She
she's
might-
dead.
Yeah, unless she's dead now and she's stuck there like ghostly dead, not vampire.
But if she is dead, how did John put the handcuffs on her?
How did Evan rape what's her face's mom in Monster House or whatever?
The suit. He used the suit.
But he still impregnated her.
Nikki, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyYVENOM24.
Mike, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Thilladren, THILLADREN.
Rachel, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Twitter at Savannah17 and at Twitch at take off the 17. So it's just Savannah.
Take it off. You
Take
can
it
find
off.
me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Do.
Do.
You can also find all of us and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Till next week, don't go crying to your mommies.
Mommy.
Why is it every time you say that, I want to say it in the curtains closed or something?
Exit stage right.
Yeah.